And my experience with poetry being that it was about love, because that's what I felt was safe, appropriate when I was younger. It often had the intent of sharing secret things and informing the reader, the person I gave the poetry to or read to, giving them a view of an inner experience of what was going on, knowing full well that the outer experience was what it was in and of itself. It was always important for me to bring this inner experience to light. So Bornstein made it very clear to me that it's a reality that other people have their own perspective, and in relationship to this cop that invented false charges against me, took it all the way to the court, to which I had to plead no contest because I was threatened with prison time. And the judge told me, quote, "Who do you think I'm going to believe, you or the cop?" And I was so frightened at what had transpired that it became very clear to me that these people were more interested in supporting their own reality of what they believed to have happened rather than the truth of the matter. And that they were highly invested in this rendition that they had of events that they were not even present for. And you might even say that the cop wasn't even present and accounted for the event, being that he invented his own rendition that were lies. And I had to accept all this stuff, you know. This is the fact of the matter. People were making up their own stories and living by them, and I had to live with them, or struggle against them. And in the experience that I had, the value and the worth of the fight didn't come anywhere close to what was required of me to do. It just wasn't worth it. Mainly because of my physical disability. I didn't have I had to take care of my own physical health and welfare. And I realized at the time that this was the whole point. And I understand conspiracy theories to be rather unique and individual from my perspective, because I have had conspiracies to occur. I have experienced them against me by individuals that are quite capable and in doing whatever it takes to make sure that it happens the way they want it to, rather than anyone else's way. It comes back down to self-will. You know, we can invent just about anything in our own minds. And this comes down back to my poetry, and being able to have that dual focus of what is real and what is my experience, and not overvaluing either one of them, but bringing them together in equanimity, you know, in relationship. And they are what they are. You know, I have my internal experience these things externally to me also exist. However, the way I like to think of it is I bring my life to them and enliven them, and that is sacred and it is holy. And when we are treading on that holy ground, we need to tread very lightly. There is the proper stance and posture to take before the altar of the Almighty, which is awe, humility, and respect. And I feel that in our culture, the importance of making our own way in the world, the cowboy attitude, which is one of the major archetypes, one of the major spirits that guide our own self-will can run away with us, and we can forget, we can rationalize, we can justify, just who deserves our awe, humility, and respect, and who doesn't. What does and what doesn't. What agrees with us, what doesn't agree with us. I had a great deal that I had to swallow. I had a great deal that I had to integrate. One of the authors that I was turned on to by this friend of mine, Shelley David Powers was his name, my friend, is his name, was Carl Jung. He turned me on to Carl Jung. And he had all his own renditions of Carl Jung. He reads and integrates authors differently than I do. I realized that David has a great deal of personal experience, and I came to understand that somebody that has gone out into the world and had a lot of personal experience can over-rely on their own internal experience more than what anyone else's experience is. It's really common, so I learned a great deal from observing that when we integrate aspects, we can fight against it. It can be very difficult. And it's up to our own innate constitution, so to say, as to whether we can integrate it and how we do integrate these things that occur to us.